you're gonna learn 5 key mindset improvements that you can use based off of cutting-edge psychological and accelerated learning science proven to give you extraordinary results. Now, you're gonna be able to use these 5 tips to not only increase your rate of progress of your forehand transformation, but also you can use these 5 key pieces in any area of your life to radically increase your motivation, your energy, your persistence, your feeling of connection with meaning. It's extraordinary. I know you're gonna love it. So let's jump right in to the first principle or piece, which is known as inspiration stacking. Now, what this means is that before you undertake any goal, you want to stack as many reasons why you should achieve that goal as possible to give you more inspiration and fuel while you're doing it. Using the forehand, for example, after speaking to so many of you, you wanna have the best technique at your club. You wanna be able to win and easily close points with your forehand. You wanna feel a sense of flow and confidence. So whatever those reasons are for you, connect with them. Every time I'd practice, like, all right, I'm gonna develop a world-class forehand, and I want that because when I play, now I'm gonna feel so confident. I'm gonna be able to put away points. I'm gonna be able to win matches, feel in control, look great when other people are watching, perform under pressure. All of that is gonna make me feel more proud and confident of myself. So in that energized state, I'm ready to move on to the next piece, which is gonna be your win stacking. Once you've identified a worthy goal for you to achieve, which in this case is hitting world-class forehands, you're now gonna develop the stacking wins in your mind that it's gonna take to achieve that goal. So for instance, let's say after reviewing your footage, you identified with your forehand, you need to improve more abduction on your unit turn. With your backswing, you need the racket to be positioned more at 530. With your acceleration, you gotta drive the leg, use more of the shoulder, your contact gotta be out front. Those are all of the different wins that you're gonna be achieving as you progress towards that inspirational outcome that you desire. Which brings us to the third piece. You've got your endgame vision dialed in. You've got the steps that you wanna master in order to achieve it. Now we're gonna do what's called positive visualization. The more clearly that you can see yourself correctly executing those stacking wins to achieve that endgame result, the faster you're gonna learn, the more you're gonna believe in yourself that it's possible for you. And while you're gaining feedback and recording yourself, you're gonna be able to get those insights faster because in your mind, you've already achieved it. You know, I had the great blessing of seeing Tony Robbins live. He was literally like 10 feet away from me. And one of the key things he taught me was, we get only what we tolerate. Which means that if you only see yourself as hitting world-class forehands, if you only see yourself executing correctly those stacking wins to achieve that outcome, and you only tolerate that, you're gonna get it. If you tolerate yourself being, the 4th or the 5th best player at your club, or, I'm always gonna have that bad technique, you tolerate it, guess what? It's gonna stick around. So have that ability to generate in your mind yourself hitting those world-class forehands. Generate in your mind what it's gonna feel like. Because what the science of accelerated learning has taught us is the more intensely that you visualize or generate the future reality that you want, the faster that you'll achieve it. Which brings us to the fourth piece, which is known as desirable difficulty. This personally completely transformed my life. What they found with accelerated learning science is that when people feel like, this is awkward, this is hard, I don't know how to do this, I'm not making any progress, I should just stop. That's actually when you are learning at the fastest rate. See, the human mind is not equipped to be an astute judge of whether or not you're progressing. When you think that you're progressing, that's when everything's working for you. Like, oh, hey, this is easy, I've got this, I'm improving a lot. But what's funny is that that's actually when you're not improving at all. What they've done with their research is they had groups where one group had very hard practice sessions, the other group it was more easy. The group where it was more easy, they told themselves, they were like, hey, I'm improving a lot. But at the end of that study, the group that felt awkward, the group that felt hard, the group that was struggling, that was the group that had transformative process, brand new outcomes, huge gains. And the most hilarious thing about that study is that after the fact, when they told them which group progressed faster, the group that was struggling still believed that they weren't improving fast. So don't listen to your brain. Don't listen to the part of your mind that says, I can't do it, I'm struggling, this is awkward, because that's actually when you're progressing at the fastest possible rate. Which brings us to the fifth and final piece, which I like to call closing the gap. So a recap of everything we've covered. Number one, you've got your inspiration stacks. You've got all those reasons why you should hit world-class forehands. Now you're actively generating, visualizing for yourself. That's how it's gonna feel. I can see myself, I'm the best player at my club. I've got world-class forehands. I'm not tolerating anything that's below that. And I'm embracing the struggle. I love the challenge. I love struggling because I know that's when I'm improving at the fastest rate. The last piece is closing the gap, which means that, let's say for example, you went on the court, you hit 10 forehands, you took an hour break, you came back and you looked at the footage of yourself hitting those 10 forehands. Chances are you would barely learn from that experience because you hit the forehands, that was a moment in time, you took a long break, and then you reviewed it later. What they found in accelerated learning science to be extremely effective is if you can hit your stroke and then say, oh, okay, got it. That's how that felt. And then you go back, you review your footage instantaneously. You'll then be able to see, oh, got it. So that's how that felt, but then this is what actually was happening. Because I've worked with hundreds of students. They literally have all said the exact same thing. Grant, I thought I was putting my racket there, but they were putting it back. It's the same thing every single time. The human brain doesn't know when they're learning fast, and they don't know if they're actually doing the technique correctly. That's why video and direct feedback is so powerful, and is also why I'm encouraging you to be consistently reviewing your footage at a constant basis throughout your experience with those win stacks, moving towards that inspirational end game goal. So use these 5 principles. I'm encouraging you, as always, have that high level of ambition. Believe in yourself, generate the energy, it's worth it. You're gonna get the result through that persistence and by trying your absolute best.